Aisha.
I'm Angie Quintana.
And I'm Jesus Trejo.
And today our topic is going to be additional fees in the student bill. Okay, so by show of hands, how many of you knew that $1,064.80 were additional fees in the student bill? Okay, so none of you, right? Okay, so let me give you a rundown of the student bill. So we have our tuition that's around $3,928.40. It differs depending on how many courses you're taking. And then the orientation fee is just because I'm an incoming freshman, so we didn't put that into account. The rest of them are first starting off with the intercollegiate athletic fee. That one is for any athletes, anything that they need and stuff like that. So not many people benefit from that. Actually, only 6% of students benefit from that. Like around 6% are athletes. Then there's a medical service fee, which is for any kind of medical needs that you might have, if you want to take a shot here, or you want to get somebody to look at you. Then there's also the recreation fee. That one is if you want to use the gym and in return, like they use that money to get equipment and stuff like that. Then there's the student services fee, which people use it for like the writing center or areas like that in which people can come and help you. You also have the student union fee, and that one is to play games on the second floor. And then there's the university services fee. Now that one is the largest out of all of the fees, and the interesting thing about this one is that it's actually just another way of charging you everything else, but morphing it all into like an additional fee, but it's bigger than the rest, and it's more of like what we want to like kind of surface on. It's like how many fees we have, and it's kind of like hidden, and they're charging you for all these like little things that we don't really know, you know? Okay, so the audience relevance. I'll start with the audience relevance first. So this is relevant because we're all students here. We're all paying, either if we're paying with FAFSA, scholarships, or out of pocket. And I feel like it's very important for us to know. I really didn't know anything about this. I kind of wondered, but I mean, I didn't really take it into like my own hands and do any research. But we thought this was going to be a very interesting topic because nobody ever really talks about this. And then handing over this thing that really did.
So for my personal experience, I personally relate to this because both my parents and I pay out of pocket for my tuition only. And before this assignment, I knew nothing about this topic, other than the fact that I needed to pay money. And on top of all of this, I have to work every single break that I can possibly get, pack in all the hours I can at work, so that way I can effectively pay my share.
Okay, so this part is a graph that we have about the sticker price and the net price. So the ones in dark blue are from private colleges, and then the ones in light are from public colleges. So the sticker price is what somebody that pays completely out of pocket would pay. And then the net price is what somebody pays after scholarships and FAFSA. So you can see how it doesn't significantly go down that much. Like, there is still a huge gap in which you're paying so much with your own money. And this kind of differs from every single university, but essentially what this is trying to tell you is that we're paying a lot and from things that we aren't exactly benefiting from, especially because we're here for classes or tuition.
Okay, then we go to the causes, which are the fee areas that do not generate profit, such as you know, the buildings. We have the medicine building, E-Labs, E-Lab South, E-Labs North. Well, they have to pay for the light, they have to pay for the bills of the building and the cost, like the taxes and everything. And they include those on our bills, and they add them in there. They also have the student loans. So when a student gets out a student loan, it actually increases everybody else's tuition cost. And they're also hiring the higher education, such as professors, and like the PLTL leaders, like every type of tiny little job that they have to have. They also kind of increase our tuition with that. And on top of that, the state decreased their funding. So who does that affect? It affects us. But so this is the main point. Also the thesis. 94% of the students do not benefit from any of these. The going to the gym or the recreational one, the playroom. None of these actually I've only gone to the playroom once, and it was out of curiosity, but I've never actually done anything there. or the tutoring. Whenever you go get tutoring, I've only been there once as well, I think, but it was for grade. It was not because I actually needed tutoring. It's also free for the students who pay out of pocket, such as, we can't, I also have to work, and it's really hard having to like pay, and I have FAFSA, but it's also just really stressful. Then there's the UTRGV that receives additional endowments plus tax payment, and the lack of transparency. And what it means by, we can go to the next slide if you want. Oh, can I go to this one? The next one, and then we'll go back to that one. Yeah, so what it means by lack of transparency, it doesn't really, not only UTRGV, but every college in general, doesn't really they don't really tell us what's going on and how they manage our tuition and the extra cost that they give us. And it adds up. It doesn't look as much as in the little, like they provide incomplete or outdated information and prices on the websites, and that can mislead us, and then it can tell us, like it can make us lose track or provide wrong founding. And it can be misleading financial aid offers as well, which can just be really confusing in the end. But we can go back to this one. And right here we have a graph that represents how the students benefit from all of this and how they not. We have the recreational fee. Only 18.8% of the students actually benefit from the recreational fee. That means going to the gym. And then the medical services, in case you get hurt or anything, only 9.4% of the students benefit from that. Then we have the student service fee, only 18.8%, and then the student union fee, which is 15.6%, and the university fee, which is 37.5%. And what's missing?
There's one that's missing from here, and it's the intercollegiate athletic fee. So, although we do have athletes around here, the survey was conducted by us, and we didn't get a ton of answers that we would have liked. Part of the reason is because the university isn't very transparent with this kind of topic. It's a very sensitive topic. Like, I asked one of my professors if he could upload it and if his students could fill it out, but he said that he wasn't allowed to, because it's something that they can't really disclose that kind of information, even though we're not doing it because we want to fix something. It's just for a project for class, right? But the intercollegiate athletic fee is not in here because it is a very small portion of students who actually benefit from that. And a lot of people actually click the university services fee because they notice that it is something as simple as just being on campus. So this fee is basically just being at the library, just going around doing this or other things, just benefiting from like the campus, being on these grounds. That's what we found that was very interesting from conducting the survey.
And when asked if they knew the amount that they were paying, even with the additional fees, 26.7% said yes, but on the other hand, 73.3% said no. So in paying out of pocket, the percentage of college from nationally, the percent of college students who pay out of pocket is 45%, and the additional fees affect way more than just the students. It also affects the families who might be helping them with tuition, like in my situation. And the UTRGV students' pockets that are being affected, how do you pay? We asked them how they paid for their tuition, and 20% said that they paid for it. A good 13% said that their parents do, and roughly 66.7 said that the scholarships and FAFSA help them out with it as well.
Okay, so there's a personal story of mine. When I went to get research for our presentation, I had to go to the financial aid office, ask for questions about why and how are we, what's our money going to exactly for our tuition. When I went there to ask them, I told them, like, okay, can I ask a whole question to somebody who works here, who knows information about our financial aid and where it goes to specifically? They told me no, they cannot take answers like that from students. or any questions from them from students, so that was outright rejected. I tried going again one more time, but still got the same answer, so for me, some kinda like a touchy subject to them, they want to discuss with students, and overall, it was a really weird experience, I'll say. Some of the solutions we talked about were probably to include the option to have more scholarships or grants from the school. Maybe a way for the school to actually obtain more of them and help the students, you know, be able to pay more for their tuition. As well, we want to have more a policy change for flexibility. I would conceive for policy change. As well, a transparent fee structure and 2 different bills. In particular, we discussed this recently as well, because let's say for by them, many students do not use the services provided by others by the school itself. People to go to the rec, to go to the clinic, in order to go to the help center for study, like that. As such, it seems kind of unjust that students, you know, are being asked to pay a lot of money for services they're using more, fees specifically. Because that way, well, because of that, I would say it's better for students, you know, to get their full tuition back from that. So it's better for schools to buy their books, food, travel, gas. Because it is quite a bit of money and they're not using it, so it's not just that they're being charged the amount. Okay, this is my conclusion. For the most part, we can see that many students are being charged for a fee that they didn't know that they had at the beginning. And overall, it seems kind of unfair to the people who are paying money out of their own pockets to, you know, pay for the fees and services to keep open the clinic, the rec center. It seems unjust to me. And which is why we wanted to move more to the theory of, you know, why not 2 tuitions? One in which that you either have the full services from the campus or one to include none of the services. That way you can have your choice of which fee you want to pay for. To give more balance for students. And to further prove that point, I remember reading an article from the writer, is UWG Publisher. It said back in 2017, the campus was making students pay $250 per semester, or $20.85 per credit hour, which in total they were foreseeing a total of $12,358,000 and $12,358,626 they're gonna get from the fees alone that we are paying for. As such, I believe that the school should have enough money on the stat side to be able to afford to let some students choose like different tuition plans to afford school better. Because therefore, this is really unfair for majority of students. Well, yes, someone like me, we do get grants to help us pay for college. I know friends and family that do not have that luxury, as such to pay out of pocket. So, for our solution, therefore, we really want for the students to maybe incorporate this idea to school, having 2 tuition plans to afford, well, to choose their choice of what they want to pay for. Are you going to use the services that the campus offers you or not, to make it much easier? As such.
And this is our source. Did anybody have any questions?